Disclaimer. The information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent his messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised. And this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul. And we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become. In being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 353rd One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond. I'll be your host today with members of the Universal Council and support members. And I believe they are ready to begin today's presentation. So without further ado, let me get that ready. I hear a microphone
Thank you, Rick.
open. Hi, go
Thank you,
ahead,
Rick.
Stefania. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for endless helping us to present this session of One Planet, One Nation, One Race. Welcome, everyone. Welcome the new one, if you've never been before, and to the, old one. I don't like to say old one, but to all the knowledge seeker that they always been follow the Keshe Foundation and the new development. Okay, welcome to be here. Thank you to be here with us today. My name is Stefania, and I'm representative of the Italian language of the Universal Council. Thank you so much again to be here. And like Mr. Keshe said every week, good morning, good afternoon, good night, from wherever you are. Yes, so today I'm going to start again with a summary of the 544. That it's, as you all know, is the workshop that Mr. Keshe does every Thursday. I repeat this every week, so I'm not going to repeat again too much about it, but you can go into see in YouTube in the 554, search for the 554, 564 Knowledge Seeker Workshop. And there you can hear the last new development and the last news regarding the Keshe Foundation. And we had quite a big news. And so, as you know, Mr. Keshe announced new teaching. So we start a new teaching, a new era of teaching. And this started, I think, 2-3 teach ago. So I recommend you to go and listen and don't miss out. So Mr. Keshe started, obviously, I summarize what I understood of the workshop, but please go in and listen the full workshop so you can have your understanding of it. So I'm going to try to summarize the best I can. So,
Stefania?
Yeah.
Could you bring your summary under knowledge and understanding of the workshop? I think that comes up a little bit later in the program, but if you'd like to highlight it now, no problem. But that's the way I had planned it.
Whatever you prefer. Whatever you prefer. What you would like me to do to say at the end in the? I can do that, no problem. If you want me to, or I can do briefly now.
That would be a better way to do it. Yes.
Better way to do it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's that way. Okay, no problem. So I will leave you then now with Mark, and we continue. I think now is the wishes. No, maybe Dean first, and then the wishes, and then the soul connection, and the knowledge. Okay, so please, Mark, go ahead.
No, I think Dean is coming up right now. I think he's made a small presentation to present. Dean.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, there's a small presentation this week. It's a very small teaching, but I think an important one. So welcome to the Universal Council, everybody. It's wonderful to see all the beautiful souls and experience the souls present in this moment. So this is about the categories of the space technology, devices and applications. And this was taught by Mr. Keshe quite some time ago, and I always find it very poignant and very relevant that Mr. Keshe would teach something knowing that the full cycle you come round to, it's a place where, like a circle, you come back to the beginning. And with a lot of the teachings, they're given, you'll receive some knowledge, And then we come back to a position and we understand more when we go back and we revise what we've already sort of learned. So as you can see with this this image on the screen, the words that are spoken are, we are like a little fish in the ocean of the universe, or a tiny amoeba. And I think if you look into the depth of the image, it gives you an idea of how on the left-hand side we have planet Earth, and that comes from the field interactions of the magnetic fields, gravitational fields in the atmosphere of the universe. And then you get plasmas that are colliding or coming together and creating the matter state. And we live on this blue planet. And but it's made from the fields in the universe. And so all these things and all these creations we have going on from our viewpoint of planet Earth is contained within that sphere. And all these emotions and all these conditions of love and joy and beauty, and the other side of it, which we have and we've had in the past and we've had, which is the wars and things, they're all contained within this sphere. And this is just a tiny dot in our solar system. And then if you go further out, you don't even see the solar system from the galaxy, and it goes on and on and on. So in micro and macro. So we are that tiny amoeba in the space of what we perceive ourselves to be. Unless we actually start speaking and contacting through the soul, then we become part of a much bigger picture. So we're not just the physicality that is dominant within a very small sphere, but if you open up the soul, you're part of everything. You become much bigger. So we always thought that the whole ocean of the universe was our world. And we were happy with a little square pot. So we're very happy with our little part of the jigsaw that we have, that is our physicality and our existence in physicality in and on planet Earth, it seems. Now that pot has opened and we will see rather greater dimensions of existence. So this is where the knowledge and the understanding that's been shared on a regular basis is opening up these dimensions of existence. And all these teachings, which you have been listening to past few years, and for some of us it may be the beginning of it. But wherever you come in, as I've spoken about earlier, you always come round in a big circle back to the same position. That we started opening into the direction of the space technology. And the space technologies we know can take many forms, in the physical form and the non-tangible, which is the soul travel. Will be repeated across this planet many billions of times. So Mr. Keshe already knew that this technology, once opened up, is going to be repeated and understood billions and billions of times across the planet. So once, it's like what I've noticed is when you open a plasma and you expect your little part of it, the universe gives you much, 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 much more, because you're part of a much bigger totality. With the space program, I'll bring the nations to become one. And I think that's why maybe we have so many diverse things happening on the planet at the moment. Because we know that when we become one and everybody is in the same contained atmosphere, breathing the same air as we do, that the plasma opens up. We become peaceful. We become givers. We become part and share everything we have with each other, as we do when we breathe. So in the coming time, we will divide into 2 or 3 different sections. 1, those who understand fully the operation of their souls, which is the freedom of existence across the universe. So for the ones that really do start to lose the dimension of the physicality and start traveling by the soul, they will have the freedom of the existence across the universe. And then the next ones, 2, those who will take into the ships in which collectively they trust others to protect their physicalities so that they can take their souls across. So what does that mean? So it means that you're traveling with your physicality in a spacecraft, and you're then opened up, no matter what the technology is, you're still opened up to the dimensions of being in space and all the different interactions that happen in space. It's a vast ocean, as we've just learned, and there's many opportunities for the physicality to encounter many possibilities of changing your physicality. And so you're handing that protection over to someone who is operating the craft. If they're using their soul to operate the craft, then maybe you'll be very well protected. But you eventually will come to a position where if you start to go in a spacecraft, that you will start to become aware of the soul. And I think this is the next stage. And then there are those, and then there are those who will stay on Earth where physicality is the ultimate goal of confirmation of their existence. And Mr. Keshe has spoken about this many times. He always said that billions and billions, no, it's not trillions, billions of us will leave for space. We will go to all the corners of space and enjoy many things. And not many will come back. And so we need a core amount of people based on planet Earth to actually govern and run it and actually keep it in its position. So, and some of us who have got the correct ethos will then learn gradually how to operate and travel the universe and go to other planets, visit other places. And some of us that are not able to actually step into a spaceship, are not able to actually communicate with our soul enough, will be grounded. This will be their existence. And it seems very beautiful. We're all based on planet Earth. But when the soul takes in, opens the cage and the soul cannot travel, we become grounded in that physical form. For some of us, that sounds very beautiful, but the soul knows so much more. And it's part of a much bigger totality. And so being grounded and not being able to travel will be a very harsh condition, maybe, for some of us. And we all have a choice. In this moment, you have a choice. Which one do you decide to participate with? For some of us, it may be that we stay in physicality. As I said, we don't, maybe some of us who haven't had the ethos and the understanding of being peaceful will have no choice. Whereas if you, in this moment, set your intention for peace in exchange for the technology, then maybe things can change for us. So that's a quick little teaching that Mr. Keshe gave some time ago. Again, you can see it's on KFW.org, and the category was Space Technology, Devices and Applications. So the devices and applications, as we've seen, are we can travel by the soul, or we can take to a ship that is gradually being taught to humanity. And I know many of them are being seen around planet Earth. And as you can see, that the ships actually have the capability to be viewable by the human eye with the salinity that we have in our eyes, in our very small spectrum that we see. And then maybe they can disappear and we don't see them because they travel in a different spectrum of fields that we don't see with the physicality of the eye. So they're already around us. There's countless numbers of them that are present with us, helping and guiding humanity. So enjoy your journey, and I think we can move on to the next slide, Rick. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Thank you, Rick. So, and I will read this one. So we, the UC, give from our souls freely to elevate the soul to all leaders and to be part of the TIEP, which is Technology in Exchange for Peace.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, and the knowledge seekers offer the beauty of our souls to Mr. Keshe and all decision makers out of gratitude and appreciation in order to feel, understand, support, and achieve world peace together in negotiations.
We are present.
We, the UC, give freely from our souls to elevate the soul to all beings who lost their physicality.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council support, and the knowledge seekers collectively give from our soul to elevate the soul of those involved in negotiations of IAEA to accept the peace in exchange for technology.
We are present.
I don't know if it's me. I love you, my soul. I love to live with you, and I adore you. So again, hello, it's Mehran, Universal Council Support for Farsi Language. This day I do my soul connection in Farsi language. I take a little bit time to explain for them the soul, but just listen to Farsi language. Thank you. سلام. در این جلسه کوتاه روح‌های ما را به هم وصل می‌کنیم و به سوی هدفی که داریم گرایش می‌دهیم. روح چیست؟ در تئوری کشه ما یک جسم داریم، یک روح جسمی داریم که امور مربوط به جسم و احساسات اون اداره می‌کنه و یک روح که انرژی مرکزی ماست که احساسات خودشو داره. یک سال قبل یکی از دانش پژوهان در کلاس خصوصی از آقای کش پرسید گاهی دچار افسردگی میشم چیکار کنم؟ ایشون فرمودن بگو ای روح من عاشق تو هستم، عاشق زندگی با تو هستم، خیلی دوستت دارم روح من. خب حالا کمی فهمیدیم که روح چیه، سعی میکنیم در آرامش قرار بگیریم و نفسمون رو آرام بکشیم تا به آرامش دست پیدا کنیم. بعد روحمون رو میگذاریم رهاشه به هر جایی که میخواد، چون روح هر چی بکشیم باز جا داره که بزرگ شه. بعد با کسان دیگه که هم فکر ما هستن روحمون رو با اونها در تماس میذاریم و مدتی در این حالت میمونیم و بعد اون رو به سمت آرزوهای صلح برای بشریت میبریم. در این حالت کمی مکث میکنیم. در حال بعدی، در حال حاضر مذاکراتی در راه صلح هستم که ما آرزو میکنیم با روح‌های دیگه که این مذاکرات به سوی صلح هدایت بیابند. و مدتی در این حالت میمانیم. فراموش نکنید هر شب ساعت 9 شب به وقت اروپا این تجمع روح‌ها برای صلح و مذاکرات نزدیک برای صلح ادامه می‌یابد. متشکرم.
Thank you, beautiful souls, for being here always. Thank you so much. All the love, always. Salam, namaste, salute. Thank you. And now we can go to the move to the next presentation, my dear.
Yes, I believe the video from the last excerpt from the last Knowledge Seekers workshop is next here. So let me get that ready. And this is the 564th Knowledge Seekers workshop from November 14th. And this excerpt starts at 2 hours and 22 minutes. Sure. Okay, well, we'll have a listen to that now.
What is interesting is these pictures, which you understand how much we see things which you don't see. This is the picture I just showed you. When you love someone emotionally, you can be there, whatever. You see the green light? Green line, which is your soul. But look at this. When you're supposed to see me and touch me, look at what happened to the yellow line, and the green line goes. You go physical because we want to touch it. You see the yellow line takes over. Both horizontal and vertical, you see the change. Because you go from a physical dimension to feel, to touch, because I put a word in there, to touch me, to feel me. So you have to become physical. So we knew you lot are searching. Where here, we said, if you feel your loved one, love is giving, so it's operation of the soul. And you see the soul line above. And now you see how it changes. The next question. So we know the difference between our physical life and our soul life. And the question was set deliberately this way. When you do see it, maybe you are aware of it, that's why you saw the line. You went from the transfer from one to another. This is one question, the one you love, which involves your soul. This is one question, becomes the physicality. If you see me, touch me. And you see here how close the green line is to the center line. And you see how the yellow line is above. And how far is above? Full back of physicality. I wonder how many of you open your hand, your eyes and hands trying to touch, or even your eyes closed. Because you have to change. This is how we live. This is our energy side, the soul side. This is your physical side. Our system cannot lie. And these questions puts it directly into position. When we give you the energy level of you understanding yourself, and then we bring you to physical dimension. The question was very simple, and it couldn't be simpler. If you can see me or touch me. So the question was, how many of you saw and you went physically to touch? In the next sessions, we show you the power of love in a different way. And then, how many of you wanted to see or feel the others which were the same touching me? Because you have to be physically present to touch, to feel that.
And this technology, this system we set up, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. If you understand the power of it, you understand the interpretation of it.
Okay, that's our first excerpt from the last Knowledge Seekers workshop. Go back to the presentation here.
Hey, thank you, Dean. Thank you, Dean, for showing the part from the 364 Knowledge Seeker workshop. That one was a very interesting part. It was the part of answering question. And I think it was a part of a question that the Dean made. And so it's after the pause, after a few questions, then there is Dean. And I really invite you to go and to listen, because explain very well the transmutation work. For example, now here in the screen, we got the meeting up at 9 o'clock city time for where all together we're elevating the soul of the leader. And there is actually in the introduction of the 564, talks about this, talks why it's important for us to regularly meet all together and elevating together the leader. And in this introduction, really explaining very well, because each one of us has got different field strength, and between all of us, we should be able to tackle any direction and have a greater effect on the elevation of the leaders. So I recommend you to see the introduction of the 564, because it's going to explain very well the importance of the soul connection and why it's good to do it every day, 9 o'clock all together. So I invite you to do that. And in the 564, we also Mr. Keshe started to talk about also about Iran, and the 5+1, that it's finished, it's over now. And yes, Iran, it's a power nation, power nuclear nation, but Mr. Keshe wants to really underline the fact that it's a different nuclear. If until now we rely on the natural resources of the earth, even to make a nuclear power station, the new system, the new universal system, that works on a different type of nuclear power. We're going to learn how the universe works and how we can connect to the higher energy source to create this nuclear power to feed in ourselves or the planets. We're going to replicate what the human body already does and what the Earth does already and the other planets. So it's a different type of nuclear. And Mr. Keshe also talk about that there is not really much difference. Actually, we are exactly the same. The Keshe Foundation is exactly the same as NASA. It works on the same way. So they're working on new technology or new development that has to do with space. And like NASA, they're doing a constant research and development on how to create a new material, how to create a new way of harvested energy. And he said that that's why he said that new way of teaching are started. So already a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, he said we start a completely new era of teaching. So I really recommend to everyone to go on and listen and go deeper and understand deeper. So it's very, very important. And also he said that that we cannot use the present technology that goes with repulsion technology, like the one of Elon Musk, for example, because it's very, very limited technology, because we still relying on the resources of the Earth. So the true space technology has to be understood, and it has to be applied. And in this way, we can really travel the deep space of the universe. And he also said he compared the Keshe Foundation like that oil in the ground. So he said the plasma technology, it's like the petrol or the oil that has been in the ground for hundreds and thousands of years until the people become to gain more knowledge, and they learn how to use this oil in the ground to make fuel, to run your car, to run everything, run any engine. And he said the Keshe Foundation is exactly the same. Is that fuel that now the knowledge of the man, it's arrived to a certain maturity to be able to understand this new knowledge and be able to use this knowledge from the Keshe Foundation the same way like we use the oil in the ground to make fuel. We can use the knowledge of the foundation to harvest the universal energy and tap into the universe and get great endless supply of energy. And he also said that this is the way how the planets and the Earth are living for thousands of years, and is also is the secret of everlasting life. So you have to learn how your body works and how you can gather this energy from within if you want a constant supply of energy and therefore not to die. And from here is also going to explain more in detail the flow of the Earth, the magnetic, the fields, they are going through the Earth. They enter from the south and come out from the north. They are the same, the fields that are going through the human body, and explain more really what they are and which is their use. And also going to speak about the importance of understand your dreams as well, and understand the position that you're going to sleep can be related on the dream you make. So he asks us to pay attention next time you're going to sleep, which way you are sleeping, follow sleep, and which type of dream we have, because some dream that we have are connected with the physical body, other dream are very connected with the soul. So it invites us to start to pay attention to this. And it goes also into the amino acid, and again he talk about the fact that we got the schizophrenic life. But before that, he also talk about of the IA. He talk about explain what the Earth Council is. He also he said now it's time to get together as one nation, to all of us to study together. He make a connection between 2012 and 2024, because it's the same year and a month. We say in November 15 of 2012, we give the USB stick to American nation and to all other nations to share the plasma technology and to work together. And it didn't go very well, because the government, they never do much. And then he went down to teach to the knowledge seeker, and he started the knowledge seeker workshop, exactly the one that we're talking about now. And he said, now we go back to the government and invite all the governments to again to work together. He said he's committed to Iran, and Iran is committed to spread the technology in exchange of peace. So, and by invite also all the scientists from all over the world. So if you're a scientist, if you're physics, if you know people, they are working in a space project or working for NASA or working for any Russian space agency, we really invite all of you to get together and study deeper the plasma technology so we can start to work as one nation. Because he's saying the moment we understand how this technology works, the all present knowledge and all the present technology, they will become obsolete. And we will not have a need of any more borders. We will not need any more a lots of things that there are present today. So there is really the need of, because you know what is about to come, there is really the need of getting together and set up the structure to accommodate the new knowledge, because everything is going to work very differently from how it's been working up to now. And he also said, so if you understand that, so he's go back to the universal energy, and he explained that if you understand that to get the matter state, the things you see around you, the material state, or everything you see around you, it comes from a bigger fields state, and he call him the universal fields. And he said it's very, very important to understand the works of these universal fields, and also to understand that the matter state and universal fields are, one cannot be without the other, and one is existing because of the other. So he said it's really, really important to understand this. And let's go back again to the amino acid. So, and he said that the nitrogen and the oxygen are connected to the environment and to the material part, and the hydrogen and carbon are connected to the universal part. But he also said, and this is a schizophrenic life that the humankind is left with. So we have to understand there are two parallel states of fields. We have to learn them both, and the man has got both of them, and they all live in conjunction together. And then he said that the next step, the next process, is to really to be able to travel the universe. It's really to understand also that even the hydrogen, the carbon, is got two types of itself. So there is the hydrogen and carbon connected to the fields of the earth, and you talk about carbon-12, for example, and you got the hydrogen, the carbon, they are connected with the higher energy or the universal energy, and you make example carbon-14 and a different type of hydrogen. And he said you have to really understand the connection of the two, and the fact there are two. And he said, so it's like if you learn like adapter or you learn a transformer. So we need to really understand how to find the connection of between the two, and how to transform or adapt to the universal energy or the universal line of communication, or how to connect to different channel of dimension and transportation. And so it goes on, and how to connect to the main atmosphere. So really we need to understand that the difference between carbon-14 and carbon-12. Sorry, I make a confusion. Is carbon-12 is the one connected to Earth, and carbon-14 is the one connected to space. Sorry about before. So yes, so then it goes into the pause, and after the pause, the break, the tea break or the coffee break, Mr. Keshe, start to speak about the product, the new product. This plasma ball that finally are arrived, and they will be distributed to all the people who order them. He talk about they are very unique in their kind, that we really need to understand how they work, and one is different from the other, and it's the new universal system, and it's a way for us to connect to these universal energy fields. So we needed to learn how to use them. It tells more. You can go to listen more. Very interesting. And then it present the Christmas bundle. So there are some Christmas product that you can buy with discount for Christmas presents. And then he moves into the transmutation session as well, the transmutation program, where he said that in the next transmutation session, he will, in the next 3 months, he will teach us how to feed the soul of the man and the physical part as well. So I recommend everyone to bring a book, a favorite book, that explain the conduct of the creator. So can be a Bible, can be a Quran, can be, I don't know, maybe the Tao, I don't know, anything that explain the attribute of the creator to bring to the session, and also favorite food, but no meat. And he said that in the next session, he will show you how you can feed one and the other. So how you can feed the soul and how you can feed the physicality. So then the questions start from the knowledge seeker. So I remind that if you are new and listening, when you actually when you are present on the Thursday public teaching, you can make a direct question to Mr. Keshe. You can raise your hands and speak directly with him. So matter of fact, now we're starting the answering question, and we got one question from a knowledge seeker asking about concussion, that he took the workshop before, and he spoke about how can you use the pen to help with concussion. So I recommend you, if you are using if you got a pen, if you bought a pen, I recommend you to go and to listen to this question, because he will talk how to use the pen in more details way. So I really recommend to go and listen. Then we got the question of Dean. And Dean, it's a very good question for who is interested to participate to the transmutation session, or that's happening every month. Or if you already been to this transmutation and you want to understand how Mr. Keshe work. Obviously, with this transmutation session, we not just we support the Keshe Foundation by staying independent, but also you're helping them to understand how the universal fields are working. So he explained, like we just saw, that things we saw just now was part of the answer of Dean. So he's going more into details how he explained how in the transmutation session, Mr. Keshe choose specific question, and he said that the question are the one who are putting the man into position. So there are some questions that show the work of the soul of the man, and there are other questions that will show how the physical part of the man works. And this are all research they really need to gather in. So it show how with different questions he made, it show with the graphic how everyone react to those questions. Yeah, so very important for the studies. What else? Let's see. Yeah, it's go again in details again on saying how very important is for humankind to go deeper in this knowledge, and how it's very, very important for us to start to understand and apply. Also, we saw that the Brazilian team with Rafael and all his volunteer, they show the presentation they did in Brazil. So in Brazil, they get a reward, and also they were guests in this alternative exhibition. And this is, I know that Ella, she's very happy about that, because I remember Ella to ask her, how can we help to spread the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation? And she said to me that the way she like it, the way obviously would be best is to go into different exhibition center and see if you can have your own space, and there you can present what the Keshe Foundation is and what we are stand for, and show the product or show what we're doing. And this is what the Brazilian team has done very successfully. And if I remember well, Mr. Keshe also said that for any knowledge seeker who does those presentation and need material to present, they can ask the Keshe Foundation if it can help them to deliver the material. Yes, so let's see if I wrote everything. Oh yeah, Mr. Keshe went into the child of Mitra, and that was interesting actually topics about it, because he said as well that we need very soon to teach the mother that who produced the children of Mitra, because they're produced in a different way than how we produce children now. They had to relate to them in a different way. So this is something that will happen in the future. They will have to get used to. So I will recommend to listen that part if you're interested to be a parent, to have children of Mitra, meaning children from the soul. If you're interested, that is, I will recommend to listen that session. Then there is the very last question of Claudia, that was the last but not last, very, very good and very important, where you go back to explain the fields of the earth. They come in like he did in the very beginning. So you're going to draw the earth and the human body, and you're going to draw the fields that from the coming from the south, in from the south, and go out from the north. But also you're going to explain the fields they get in from the universal, from the universe. He also talks about the two fields interacting together, like the fields of the sun and the fields of the earth. They, when interact, they're making lights, the light that we see every day, the daylight. In the side of the earth happens something different. When you got two fields, they are different, field strength interacting together, they creating energy. This inner energy that he talks about also in the past workshop. This inner energy that is a higher order, and this inner energy from within goes back out from the center of the earth, goes back out and radiant, even through us, because when it go out from the center to out, it passes through everything, even the human, everything is in earth, get touched by this inner energy that comes from earth, from the interaction of the fields from inside of the earth. And this is the inner energy that is the feed the whole planet, is the famous part of this 80% that we get from the environment. And it is the one that if we learn how to harvest it and get rid of the 20% from killing and destruction, that is our eternal life. And explain that's why planets, they can live billions of years, and these are also the souls live billions of years. If you learn what I just explained in this graphic, you will know how to live forever. So I recommend to listen this part. One part I forgot to say about Dean that was very, very important at the beginning before the graphic. He going to talk about the light, because Dean saw this light and he said this type of light that you see, we should see all the time, but because our brain is so good to filter this light, we are not aware of it. But this light, we see it, and so as we do more and more transmutation session, you will be able to become more aware of it, and by being more aware, you will be able to do more with it, because once you're aware, then you can do more stuff with it. So I think I said everything about the 564. So I recommend you to go and listen and enjoy the teaching. And please don't miss the next one, that it's in today's time, 9 o'clock. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Stefania. Next, we have questions and answers with the Universal Council with Claudia and Marie. And this is recorded from November 2nd. It's always the first Saturday of the month for their meetings. And in this case, we'll be dealing with the third question at about 50 minutes into the program. So let me get that set up here, and here we go.
So then we are on the third question. How do sounds such as song and an aroma influence our emotion, the soul of the man and the soul of the physicality?
Então agora vamos para a terceira pergunta. Como os sons, como uma canção e um aroma, influenciam nossas emoções, a alma do homem e a da fisicalidade, a alma da fisicalidade?
And the first answer, in our physical dimension, emotions directly influence it. But these emotions are influenced by culture, the social environment, the general atmosphere. Hearing and smelling are absolutely physical, and in this dimension they stay. But the nose has an important role in the vital process of breathing and connection with the location of both souls, and through them we receive the plasmas, the gases coming from the cosmos, the universal energies that can feed us here on Earth.
Então, em nossa dimensão física, as emoções a influenciam diretamente. Mas essas emoções são influenciadas pela cultura, pelo ambiente social, pela atmosfera geral. A audição e o olfato são absolutamente físicos e nessa dimensão eles permanecem. Mas o nariz tem um papel importante no processo vital de respiração e conexão, com a localização de ambas as almas e através delas. Recebemos os plasmas, os gases que vêm dos cosmos, as energias universais que podem nos alimentar aqui na Terra.
Yeah, and there is another answer, by touching the soul of the man.
Então a terceira resposta é tocando a alma do homem.
And there is another answer. The song contains the field strength of the singer. When the song is sung with unconditional love and you have a matching field strength in your soul, you will feel it. Maybe as hairs rise on your arms or head. The aroma contains the field strength from the place and position, the memory. When this field interacts with your soul, you feel the balance. The field contains information which you will receive as memories.
Então, outra resposta é: a música contém a força de campo do cantor. Quando a música é cantada com amor incondicional e você tem uma força de campo correspondente em sua alma, você a sentirá. Talvez quando os pelos de seus braços ou cabeça se eriçam. O aroma contém a força de campo do lugar e da posição, a memória. Quando esse campo interage com sua alma, você sente o equilíbrio. Os campos contêm informações que você receberá como memórias.
And there is some more to this answer. The soul of the man does not understand word or emotions, but the strength of the fields. So for the fields to touch your soul of the man, they must be of the spectrum of the soul field strength, like unconditional love. If the fields from the sound or the aroma is of the level of the field strength of your emotions, you might react with the emotion of sadness or even joy. And if the song or aroma matches the fields of your soul or physicality, it might appear as low-level feelings like fright or anger.
Então, temos mais respostas sobre essa pergunta. Então, outra é: a alma do homem não entende palavras ou emoções, mas a força dos campos. Então, para os campos tocarem sua alma do homem, eles devem ser do espectro de força do campo da alma, como um amor incondicional. Se os campos do som ou do aroma forem do nível de força de campo de suas emoções, você reagir com a emoção de tristeza ou até você pode reagir com a emoção de tristeza ou alegria. E se a música ou o aroma corresponder aos campos de sua alma, da fisicalidade, pode aparecer como sentimentos de nível inferior, como medo ou raiva.
And there is another answer. It's the game of emotions. You listen to a certain music and it touches you to your bones. It's that music that instantly connects you to that moment, that touch with your beloved ones, and you are there again. It's the smell of a burning wood, the smell of those trees at the camping you were with your parents in your childhood. Try to develop this ability to smell on the soul dimension level. Notice the depth of the smell and which emotion is behind it. This is the best way to train your emotional essential communication on soul level. Don't forget, at this level, there are no limits.
Então, a última resposta seria: é o jogo da emoção. Você ouve uma determinada música e ela o toca até os ossos. É aquela música que instantaneamente o conecta àquele momento, aquele toque com o seu amado, e você está lá novamente. É o cheiro de madeira queimada, o cheiro daquelas árvores naquele acampamento em que você esteve com seus pais na infância. Tente desenvolver essa habilidade de sentir cheiros em nível de alma. Note a profundidade do cheiro e qual emoção está por trás dele. Esta é a melhor maneira de treinar sua comunicação emocional, essencial em nível de alma. Não se esqueça, neste nível não há limites.
Then we are on the fourth question.
Okay, we will leave the fourth question until next week. So thank you to Claudia and Marie for this week's excerpt. And let's get back to the program here.
Hello, everyone. This is Masvik again, representing Bengali language. And we'll talk a little bit about transmutation as usual. So as we saw in the wishes, we came across this idea of technology in exchange for peace. So let's explore a certain dimension of this statement, which is how does this peace spans its fields across the universe, which includes us. The peace that we feel within ourselves, is that in due course is reflected around us in our family, in our local community, country, planet, and then it goes beyond that. And perhaps one way to look at the, let's say, the planetary situation is to think of it as a reflection of where we are now. So we have come across this technology called plasma science. And bit by bit, we are transforming ourselves, or transmuting ourselves from the state we were in to a much more peaceful environment. We are much more confident as a result of it that we can extend this peace from within to outside. So the peace and the technology that we are to offer to the planet, and in due course even further, is something that we have been nurturing within ourselves. And this technology is transmuting into peace within us. The application of simple things like GAN's technology, we have seen some of our maladies, health conditions, emotional traumas are no longer there. So this technology and peace are manifesting within us. And this is the sign, or this is the placard that we carry forward. The outside, to the people around us. And as we become peaceful, as we become healthy, our family is similarly impacted by it. They may not know many aspects of the technology, they may not even care to. Explore any further what we are doing, and they may look at us funny at times, but the peace, they certainly notice. And the peace, they certainly appreciate and see its effects on them. So the peace is the force that is transmuting us our surroundings, and it's going well beyond our family and things that we saw today, the wishes. They're no longer wishes for our little world. It's for everyone. So as we learn to transmute our internal state into something more peaceful, the very process is also transmuting the surrounding. Sometimes it may be difficult for us to think beyond the little confine of our own world, but the effect is tangible. People are even paying attention to some of the technology stuff we talk about. So the peace is being established. With that, technology is coming into operation too. And as we all know, we started with very simple things like doing nanomaterials and, GANs and so forth. Now we are using it, the technology, and in developing our understanding of the soul and its application. And the peace that is manifesting is raising its field strength and going to a different state. I can call it a state. It may not be the correct word, but that's what I'm thinking about, right? And this state is reflecting around us. The fields that are being explored within is in due course being exposed without. And although we may not feel it the way we feel what happens within us, but there are our friends and families who are interacting with us all the time. They do give some hint. Our family may not be perfect at this point, but things are changing, definitely. And so as we learn to transmute ourselves, and when I talk about transmuting ourselves, which is more than peace, it's the application of this technology, and which is predicated upon the fact that we are becoming peaceful. So this technology in exchange for peace is not some new terminology that we have come across. It is something that is manifesting within us. And this transmutation has been gradual, but we are noticing major shifts happening within us as a result of it. This transmutation is not the end of the story, it's just beginning. So our capacity to transmute and bring peace within ourselves is the same thing as our capacity to ensure that the peace exists around us, in our community, in our planet. And we know that we can do it now, for we are doing it somewhere else already, which is us. And so what we call the experimental evidence is already there. We have the certainty that this transmutation works. We have the certainty that transmutation is not just local, but global. Yes, the field effects are there. And as we explore the fields, the magnetical fields that are going out of us, and the feedback that we can observe or feel, rather, I think the field term is easier for us to think in terms of, but we can feel it, or we can observe it. I mean, you know, it's not with a physical eye that we are used to observing things. It's the soul of our eye, the eye of our soul, eye of our soul, and that's something that we can actually I mean, notice. And the thing is that it's easier to do it than talk about it, and that's the intriguing part of it. What I'm saying is I'm verbalizing some of the things that we are all familiar with, but I had to experience this before I can even come up with a few words that I'm talking here. But the thing is that the fields that we are using in the transmutation process is very much within us. I mean, some more, some less. Some have explored certain dimensions that others haven't. But so, you know, we are each exploring certain facets of this transmutation in our own way. It may not be the whole story, but our friends here are exploring the aspects that we have. We are not as, let's say, as good at exploring as they are, but together we are covering a lot of ground. And each with its own facet is coming to this operation of doing this globally. So we're covering it all and transmuting the planet in the process. So transmuting in the planet in the process towards peace, and that peace in turn is bringing the technology as we are applying the technology as well. It's a very fascinating thing is that the technology and the peace go hand in hand. Yes, we got a little taste of it with the GANs and other things at the beginning, but the peace came. More technology came as a result of it. And it's a wonderful symbiosis. And we have come quite far as a result of this process. So the transmutation that's happening as a result of this operation is something to behold, something to appreciate, something that we can further enhance and make it a part of our reality. And how far that reality goes, as far as we can imagine it to be, the very edge of the creation. Thank you very much. I hope it made some sense. So anybody wants to share some of their own experience of transmutation? That would be great. And I will stop here for the moment. And thank you again. And then we'll move to the next thing. Yeah.
Mosfeq, is Dean here. Thank you for your wonderful words and your explanation of everything, Mosfeq. You're a very beautiful soul and you help many people. Thank you. I'd like to a little testimonial of something that I experienced when I was in the flight simulation condition of the soul through these tests that Mr. Keshe is holding for humanity. And I experienced something. We see the ring on the screen right now, this transmutation. And I experienced for a very brief time, it's like a light going on and off. But in that moment the light went on, it was like being in the middle of that ring, that golden bit at the side. It was like being part of it. It wasn't like I said before, it wasn't like watching the sun disappear over the horizon. And watching that on a daily basis, whenever the sun's visible, it was like being part of it. There was an opening up that is to visualize this, to actually verbalize this is very difficult. But it was like feeling oneness, completeness. There was nothing there that could ever harm anything. There was no, there could not be a war. There could not be disharmony. There could not be even strong words or anything that could do anything that would interrupt the flow of being present in the physicality. Because I wasn't in the physicality. I wasn't, whatever it was, and Mr. Keshe said that it was like seeing the other side of the physical being on planet Earth. It was like when you're aware, when you meditate, some people meditate and they're aware of traveling and going to some places. When this light that I experienced came on, it was all encompassing. It wasn't just with the visual eye. This was 360 degrees. It was everywhere. Complete brightness, but it wasn't bright when you're actually in it, even though it came on very briefly, and it felt bright, but it wasn't a harmful bright or something where you need to squint or anything, because I wasn't viewing it through my physical eyes with the salinity of the eyes that has a certain ability to see a very short spectrum of fields. I was viewing it through the soul dimension, and that brief second that the light came on felt like, as I said, it took me by surprise that it actually manifested and happened. But Mr. Keshe said that that's part of us, in each and every single one of us. I'm nothing, no different to you. No one is higher or lower. We all have this capability, and it's just the foundation of Mr. Keshe's beauty with all the knowledge seekers and these wonderful souls that are present here, guiding us to understand what's basically within our structure, and it's part of us, and it's always been part of us. And this technology is going to touch each and every one of us on many, many levels. We can go into the micro and we can go into the macro. We can speak about, I watched a delivery man come today, and he had many parcels, and he delivered a small parcel to the house. But in the time to come, in the Western world where they celebrate Christmas, this delivery man's going to be delivering parcels all over the place, and it's going to be frantic. But this technology gives us the ability. You won't need that position because you can transmute the parcel in an envelope from point A to point B. You won't need the middleman. And when you really understand what this transmutation is and you experience it a little bit, like as I experience a little bit, I know it's a fraction of nothing, but it's the totality of everything. And it changes your perspectives, your perception on, I can't even say the word, on how you feel, how you interact. I've always been a very peaceful most of the time. The interactions on planet Earth, like with all of us, the emotions well up and we become something that is interaction in the fields of a presence. But when we are in the fields of this, like in this golden light, it could be white light, it could be black, it could be anything. But when you get this flickering of the light come on, this transcendence, this transmutation, this light coming on, it makes you realize there is nothing to fight for. Nothing, absolutely zero, anything to fight for, because it's all provided and is present in the universe. And remember, when we go outside of ourselves, when we travel somewhere, we always think it's outside of ourselves. But when we travel in the car inside ourselves, we have everything contained, where we can gather the fields. And as Mr. Keshe said, he's going to teach us how to basically feed the soul. And by feeding the soul of man, and I know this to be true, you will feed the physicality. And it's not just feeding the physicality as in the matter state food substances that we put into our plasma. And then once they go in our mouth, Mr. Keshe said, it turns instantly into a plasma. Instantly. It becomes a different entity. But we won't need that because we'll be fed in a different way and we'll start to interact in different ways. And so as I spoke about the postman or a delivery man delivering post, it's going to be every aspect of our lives, everything that we do, and it will affect all of us. When the light comes on, it will affect each and every soul plasma present within the sphere of planet Earth and beyond. We already affect everything, but now we're going to understand more. We're going to elevate. And I look forward to the journey of being present with all of you as we're doing in this very moment, the transmutation of being present. Thank you, Mosfeq, and thank you all for listening. Thank you. I don't know if anybody else would like to say something. Please come forward.
Thank you, my dear Dean. So beautifully you said. Thank you, my dear Mosfeq. A beautiful soul you are. And I will say the transmutation, my dear beautiful souls, the electric charge, the 100, the 1,000, the million hertz. And really, really, we understood. We practiced, sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly. We practiced the pure path of peace, path of love. And we are in it. Now we can say we are the true embodiment of our timeless true self. Now we can say that. So this is so beautiful that we understand the need of being self in a way, to understand how we are able to understand how to elevate, how to manifest the elevation. In a way, it goes like, still a cup of man, still a cup of light. We go thousands of hearts around the whole planet, the whole cosmos. How can it be possible? In timelessness is no time. Thank you, beautiful souls, for listening. Thank you. Anybody else? Any beautiful soul else want to say anything about what Moshfik said, what Dean said? Add something? Feel the love in the air.
Sweta, I think Sweta,
Oh,
they're speaking on a soul level at the moment. The physicality is a little bit shy, but they are speaking on a soul level, and they're all very connected. I know we all are. We know this. Thank you, Sweta, for your wonderful, beautiful words.
oh, thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you so much. And the chaos is going on. It has, yes, yes.
It's okay. Keep saying what you're saying, but the thing is that if you have something more to say, go ahead. But, I'm not
No, Moshfik, please go forward, my dear. Please.
Yeah, since things are happening at the soul level, perhaps somebody at a lower field strength need to do something, so I'll do the talking then. And the one of the things that Shweta brought up is the practicing what we are learning. And during our meeting preparing for this presentation today, one of the things that came up is that how can we make this part of us? And that's where the practice come into play. And the practice is not something that is we can think in temporal sense, is that practice 2 times a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. It doesn't quite work that way. It's but it requires effort and regular practice. And the thing is that we have to become familiar with the fields. The fields are our capacities that we haven't told we don't have. We haven't been told that we do have these capacities. So this is the part that we have to get used to it. And our capacities are enormous, but it requires practice and patience. And we can't get disheartened by the fact that certain things don't come to us easily. But on the other hand, some of the things will come to us very quickly. But it requires that we trust, and as Mehran was saying, not just trust, but love the capacity of the soul. So trust and love are really 2 sides of the same coin. And we have to have both. It's and we have to develop this. It's not something that is there and it keeps going. It's a continuous nurturing that we have to do. And so practice is something that is something regular. But how do we practice? Let's examine that a little bit. Here we have to look into something which may not be as familiar to us as some of the things, but we are the creator. We have to take the initiative ourselves, whatever it may be, whatever area of our soul we are exploring. It's our job to take the initiative, design the experiment, design what we are willing to extend or manifest. And it's our own experiment. We can get hints from some of the discussions we have here and some of the presentation that Mr. Keshe does. But in the end, the task is on us. It's not nobody else can do it for us. It is, we set up the experiment, we conduct the experiment, get the result. With the result, we further expand our capacity to use and nurture the fields and soul's capacity. And this takes deliberate, consistent, patient effort. There is, how can we get disheartened when we know the capacities are all there? How we go about doing it is our own unique path. And it won't match anybody else's for sure. But the joy that comes with it is once again unique. But fortunately or unfortunately, we have to tread it on our own. And the easiest way, in my opinion, is to, like a scientist, constantly explore and examine the experiments we conduct and its results. And then take that result as the guiding light for the next step. We can't jump to the end of the road in one go. It's a step-by-step process. But in it, we find the joy. And so the design your own experiments. We can design our own experiments in our own unique way. And keep doing it. And we not only we get there, we help our friends, family, and the planet get there. And as we get there, we may get surprised to see the peace happening along the way. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And isn't that wonderful? Thank you very much. And let's move to the next thing, which is the next slide, I think. Yeah.
Thank you,
So
Mosfeq. So I can say a little something about it, Mosfeq, and then if you would like to come in, or Mark would like to come in, or somebody.
Go ahead.
So this is the nutrition and wellness transmutation test, and this is the next one that's been taking part. I believe this is on this Friday, so November 22nd, 2024, and it's 2 to 4 hour sessions. I think you can book 3 of them in one go for a certain fee. I believe that to be €1,500 plus tax, VAT or whatever we call it. So you can pre-book 3 sessions, or you can book them individually. I don't know. Can you still book them individually, Rick? I think you can. Yeah, €600 each. Thank you. So this is to do with nutrition and wellness, a transmission test. But as with Mr. Keshe, with all the things that we do, we are receiving much, much more on many, many dimensional levels, many field strengths. So there have been some wonderful testimonials in the past where people have gone into these transmutation tests And they've received much more than they've realized, both in sometimes in a physical form, as in the body has received something, some balancing that needed to happen for the body to be in balance again. But I know we're all receiving on some absolutely amazing energies, universal energies on a soul level. This is a small unique test for humanity, and there should be many of us understanding what's taking place in this moment. It's still in the transitional transmutation test phase, and it's an understanding for the knowledge seekers, which is all of us. Remember, we are all knowledge seekers. This what does a knowledge seeker mean? It means a human. It means somebody who or non-human. It could be any soul. But in this moment, we're concentrating on elevating and bringing forward the technology to the physicality on planet Earth, to elevate, and then we start to experience the soul aspect, and like that light I spoke about, to start to experience this. And then we will have a very big change on planet Earth. This nutrition and wellness transmutation test is part of the process that Mr. Keshe is bringing forward. And we never know exactly what's going to happen. Mr. Keshe guides us when we get there. He gives us some small informations, but most of the time, it's a guidance. It's placing us in position and handing us the knowledge drip by drip and a tool to use for us to do it ourselves. No one can do it for us. No one. We have to do it for ourselves. The universal family, the universal community, and all the souls that are present are here helping and guiding. And they have the utmost patience of beyond anything you can understand, because they've been here for a very long time, gently giving the information freely, without patents, without trying to put a price on it. They're here to give to the nations, to give to the soul, to give to a plasma, from an atom to a universe. It's all the same process. And when you become a giver, you'll start receiving more. So this transmutation of nutrition and wellness, this is the next phase. Is we're talking about bringing the body into balance and receiving nutrition, which we know is vital, and this could be used all across the planet. We see many desperate situations that have arisen all around the planet, and these souls, these physicalities, could be fed and are being fed through a plasmatic condition, a connection. And the technology could be placed in an instant around the planet, and we could all receive. But Mr. Keshe has known for a long time that we have to do this in small quantities, little by little. Because if you take something, as we all know, if you take a big dose of something, sometimes it's too much for us. And as humanity is, as I said, elevating and becoming part of a bigger totality, we have to be spoon-fed it, drip, bit by bit, so that we can absorb it, understand it, really understand it for ourselves, so that we can move on to the next level, the next dimension, the next field strength. And this is what is taking place. So if you can be present on the 22nd, this Friday, of November, for €600, please be present. That the money is used. It seems like a lot of money for people that haven't got any money, but the tests are being used, and the money's being used to run the foundation, to run these tests, to guide us. And I'm sure the cost is very, very much more than what we're actually paying. And we're feeding back. We're feeding back in as a field test into the foundation, so Mr. Keshe can then take it to the next level, and we can take it to expand it out and elevate and enhance each and every single one of us going forward. And it's a beautiful experience. Some people will find it very peaceful, very calm, and others, they're still, will some, myself included, sometimes we're very physical, so we only experience part of it. But I know there's many beautiful knowledge seekers that maybe have given some testimonials and stuff in certain places that have experienced some very amazing things, some very deep and transmutational aspects have happened to them, where I know that they've experienced being able to take their physical form, move it, and experience something, and then come back. And I'm again, we all are the captain of a ship. We all experience different things. Each and every one of us will experience something different. When we were doing the transmutation test when I was in Linz, some people experienced they wanted to go and see a relative, a dead relative, and others would not ask for anything, and they may experience more. They just let the soul guide them. So this is an opening up of the experience of being present on planet Earth and understanding what we really are, not just being physical, but understanding the other dimensional side of us, and this gentle sharing of the knowledge to enhance and elevate each and every single one of us. So if you can be present, please be present for the 2024 Nutrition and Wellness Transmutation Test. Thank you all. I don't know, Mosfeq or anybody else would like to say something. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you so much. Beautifully explained. And the product, the well, I will say the manufactured thing, so much beauty. We can understand as we have also created this plasma, this love. So how it works? With a touch, of course. Thank you, but thank you so much, my dear team. Now we can go to the next.
Perhaps while we're
yeah,
here, we can have a quick look at some of the new products that have shown up in the last few days, or at least new pictures on some of the products as well. Let me just quickly review. We've got the 2024 Christmas bundles, which we did show in the last Knowledge Seekers workshop, and there's a full list of various
beautiful,
bundles.
beautiful bundles.
Mm-hmm. And if we go back to our
on this page, Rick, that you're just on with the Christmas bundles, if you could, and you scroll down a little bit. I know Mr. Keshe had mentioned food GANs, and we see Keshe GANs Nutra Red, Keshe GANs Nutra Veggie, Keshe GANs Nutra Fruity, and Keshe GANs Nutra Herbs. Do you think that is the food GANs he's been mentioning that would appear in the store? I haven't actually seen any pictures of it yet or prices, but I think this is the food GANs that he had talked about.
There are some new pictures here, so let me just scroll down. Let's see. We have the GANs soap bar, which is a new one here. Practical and time efficient. This stress-free combo is all you need for a plasmagical experience with the new handmade GANs soap bars. And we have different options here for various flavors of bars.
And I think each one comes with, yes, 5 pieces or 5 bars.
Yes, and you can choose all of the same or a combo. And some different kids ones and the Valentine's ones. So there are various choices there, apparently.
Rick, can I just quickly say that you've just shown those soaps there? So I know Mr. Keshe said they're very special soaps. All the products will be very special. They will. I've dealt with, and I've experienced some of these products, and the soaps themselves, they carry the GANs. We know this is a condition of a matter state material that has got all the elements that a human being to bring them into balance, to elevate. And I know if you use these soaps and you actually wash yourself with them, and you will feel very soft on your skin, and you will feel very glowy. And this is like like an elevation. And then if you use this and you use the beauty of the intention of your soul and connect with it, feel it, let it be absorbed into the three layers of your skin, then go and cuddle your child or shake the hand or give someone a hug that you love or somebody that needs something. Um, and let them experience as you gently share the field interactions. Remember, all this technology is field interaction. It's even though it's a matter state condition, it's the field, it's the sharing of the love and care that you're going to transmute with these products. And they are, I know Mr. Keshe said that he's developed a new batch and someone's developed a new batch, and there is much intentional love and care gone into them. And you will receive that as I've said, as you transmute it and feel it inside yourself, and then you share it. Not only will you smell very beautiful and feel very beautiful in yourself, but you will share the beauty of that peacefulness within you as you interact with other souls. So enjoy those soaps. And it's not just the soaps, it's all the products here. I know Mr. Keshe has spoken about there's a new universal one. I think Rick is the one with the box. I can't remember what it's called now. But I know that you're going to be holding these devices in your hand. And Stefania was beautifully saying it earlier on. You will not be able to these conditions. You have to be very aware of what they are, and you have to use them in a very um, you have to know what you're doing. Mr. Keshe was saying some of this technology is beyond what humanity's received. These are these gifts, these wellness gifts, and these plasmatic conditions of the Christmas bundles are great gifts to share with your friends and family, and to give them over Christmas and for them to experience and for yourself to experience it. And remember, it's the gift, it's the giving. It's the gift of giving. You can do this with a thought and intention, but as we know, in the moment to come, these twinity, and we're talking about twinity. So we're talking about the soul of physicality, the soul connecting, and we're talking about connecting that with the other souls that you're giving to. So it's elevating and bringing a wellness and balance to the physical form and the emotions on planet Earth, that the catalyst for so many problems that are manifested because our emotion is out of balance. We've moved away from the beauty of the soul, and so the body goes into this state of imbalance, and then we start to create conditions that turn into illnesses. So by using these particular ganses in combinations, you are going to receive. We're talking about one here, 20 stamina gans. So it's some water that's going to give you unbelievable stamina. Now, whether that is you take that as you wish, and many people would like to have stamina in all sorts of different conditions. So it's up to you how you use them. And I know there will be some applications there that Mr. Keshe it will be explained on the bottle how to use them. Um, and it would be wonderful to hear the reports back as soon as people receive these gifts of what actually happens. Bring them into the testimonial meetings of the Keshe Foundation, and we share these wonderful gifts that are being created using the technology that has been shared for a long time. It will bring peace and balance to yourself to share these gifts. And for those of us that are, we have family members that maybe not used to these sorts of products, it may be a wonderful gift to give them just as for them to experience the new understandings that you've come to know as a knowledge seeker, and to share it with them. And I know that Mr. Keshe said the more you give it, the more you'll receive back on many levels. So and there's countless products coming here, and I know there'll be many more. So have a good look through the foundation's the foundation's website. What's it saying there? Attention, delivery only in the European Union. So with the waters at the moment, it can only be actually shared in the European Union. I'm sure this is because of it being a certain product that you cannot travel with for whatever reason. But we know it can't do any harm. It's a wonderful gift for humanity, and we know that it brings balance and well-being and many beautiful things. I've experienced this, as I said earlier, myself many times. These products, when you connect to them, they work wonderfully. I've heard many people say it doesn't work, and that's because you're not allowing yourself to experience it. You need to open yourself. It's like a belief in anything. If I give you something and you believe it, you need it enough for a condition, and you believe what I give to you, it will enhance and bring beauty. If you block and you say no, then nothing will work. But these products are designed and a gift to enhance and to bring balance and well-being, and in many different applications. From it's Mr. Keshe said, from men that have sexual problems with with a flagpole, to women that need men that need balancing because of the emotions of getting to a certain age and going through this condition of transformation of the body changing. But this can bring it back into another condition. And I know if you use these products on a regular basis, then you're going to start to feel more balanced yourself. The emotions won't well up inside you that create all these conditions that are then amplified and go out to the next person, within your sphere of influence, you're within your whoever you're interacting with. Because when you receive this from within inside yourself, you're bringing yourself into balance. And when we bring yourself into balance, when you are in balance, we become in balance. And it's the we that's really important, because it brings a change for each and every person that we interact with. When you walk into a room and you see that one person who's there very calm, and they shine with beauty. You just know that there's no conditions of strange, erratic conditions. They're just peaceful. When you have that within inside yourself, and then you walk into a room and you share that's the gift. That's the unconditional gift of these products that many of us will receive, and we can pass this knowledge on, elevate and enhance each and every one of us. So the Keshe Foundation enjoy these products because they are a gift for humanity, and they will bring peace and understanding on many levels when you are present with them. So thank you all. I don't know if anybody else would like to come forward now. Okay, so we've now gone to the needs and wishes.
Before that, we have a presentation with the 564th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, which I can play now.
Okay, Rick, thank you.
Just bear with me a second while I find my workshop here.
I was going to mention wearable technologies, but I think we'll save that for the Reactor group, perhaps at 7 a.m. on Wednesday. Same Zoom number.
Wearable technologies.
Or embeddable technologies. Let's take it a step further.
Yeah, that sounds like a good topic for then. All right, now let me get the timing set up here. This one starts at 1:18:45.
Oh, perfect. This is exactly about where I was going to start the wearable technology presentation.
Yeah, exactly.
We can
Great.
hear it a couple times.
Okay, get the sound up and make sure we're hooked up here. This will be a short excerpt. I think it's only 3 or 4 minutes.
And as Mr. Keshe said in this short segment that Rick's going to play, these balls will be held in your hand, but he said we're going to develop a very similar system which is embedded within the body of the man, as close to the soul of the man as possible. And I think this is part of the continuous feeding. Again, whether you're traveling in that energy dimension or feeding yourself or what have you, this continuous line of energy is where the direction of these products are going. But it's all helping to develop the new space travel system, which is part of the Friday sessions as well. Traveling in the dimension of energy rather than the matter state.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Here we go.
And this represents the true knowledge of man. And what in the future, this and the processes like this, elements like this, will be used to connect you to the dimension of the position. Then you learn through different process. In a way, by holding this in your hand and connection to our systems, we can transfer you anywhere in the universe. Systems like this will be built inside the body of the man. A system like this, with its energy, will be brought into closest proximity of what we call the soul of the man. You will understand the reason for it in the future. But it took us about a year to get this to this point that it absolutely has to be the way it is. And this is what you will receive. If you have two of them in your hand, then you understand. Not two are the same. None of the two units. It's been built, especially if you see, not sunk into the box, but there you can pick it up with 2 fingers. And when you receive it, do not play with it. Do not touch it unless you know exactly what you're doing. This is not a toy. And it's not for children. Even those who are adults and they think they understand, but in essence they're children of God. Try to understand what this material embeds in it and what this material carries with it. If you hold in your hand and you feel the energy of it, it means you're matured. If you hold in your hand, you feel nothing, it means you still have not connected to your soul. You will understand when you receive it, when you understand, when you mature to enjoy it and understand it. We promise you, it took us a long time. And I think this is exactly what I was looking for. The color irradiates with the energy it emits out of itself and the box you carry. and how this will change humanity in time to come. We gave you a promise, as usual. I've never known a company so as bad as Keshe Foundation in delivery. We are late by years. But when we deliver the message of creator and the way it should be.
Okay, that's our excerpt. Again, out of the 564th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And that's at around the 1 hour, 20-minute mark, if people want to look into that more. Or if you need to, Mark.
Well, again, you can see what is being delivered here and what is being offered in the store. Quite a dynamic change. Even though the material is the same, the presentation certainly has changed.
Beautiful, beautiful, my dear Rick. The pearl to handle with care. So beautiful product, really. What can I say? I can feel in my heart. Yeah, we all can. Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear Rick. Take the gift. This is so much giving. Thank you. Now we can move to the next question. Yes, this is the needs and wishes, my dear beautiful soul. And I welcome you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Swagatam. If there is any, well, we are all learning. If there is any question, if there is any sharing with love, please do. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Sweta. So it's Dean here again. I'd just like to say a few words for the needs and wishes and this beautiful message that we see on the screen. So we, the Universal Council, give through our souls. There is no pain and suffering in the true reality of peace and love. So when we come to experience the beauty of the soul and we really understand being present with the soul, we'll know that there cannot be any pain and suffering. This is a physical condition, being present in the physicality. When we become part of the soul within us, so when we go deep within inside ourselves and we see this this position, and maybe for some of us it may take some time. I know somebody said they went into a darkened room and they experienced this light after a couple of days. They said they experienced this flickering of the light coming on. I experienced it through being present with Mr. Keshe's technology, being led or sat up on a bed that had some special qualities around some magrabs, and with the intention of being present with the Foundation's transmutation test, and the light came on. So a need and a wish would be that we join the soul of the physicality with the soul of man, and we create this light, this plasma, because we're all part of it. We're all experiencing in different moments our own little worlds of interactions, but we're all part of the same interaction in micro, in macro. When we expand it out, we understand that the plasma is the totality of everything. A plasma is in everything from the smallest to the biggest. And you can take, part of the smallest, and that could be when you combine a lot of the smallests, you get something that is the totality. So it changes how you understand and how you interact in all the environments. So there is, when we really understand, there is no pain and there is no suffering. We can change that condition by being present in the soul aspect. We feed the soul, and the soul will give back to the physicality. And we go back to the very beginning of this this presentation, where we experienced the knowledge and knowing that we're part of something much, much bigger, and that we, the field interactions are creating everything we're experiencing. Everything. So when we come to go inside ourselves, we can then start to affect the matter state. And this isn't something that is like a theological preaching. This is an inspirational understanding from the universe, from the universal family, to enlighten us, to give to us, and for us to understand the presence and understand that, the beauty of the soul. So the needs and wishes would be, we, the Universal Council, give through our souls. And this is what the Universal Council does. They give through the souls for all created creatures, because there are countless other numbers other than just human beings. And this is where we limit ourselves to, we always make ourselves so important. No one is higher, no one is lower. So there is no pain and suffering when we start to interact with the soul. So in the true reality of peace and love in this moment. Thank you, Sweta. Thank you all.
Thank you, beautiful soul. Thank you so much, my dear. Now, anyone, any beautiful soul want to say something? Please do. Welcome.
Yes, as far as needs and wishes of the community, I'm not sure who put this in the chat. It seemed to come earlier today. A situation has come to my attention that a new knowledge seeker, Dankin Omala, has traveled a long distance from a poor area in Africa in order to spend time learning about the GANS technology direct from Dr. Gatwa. Dankin needs modest support in his quest for knowledge, to buy materials and for other expenses. A few small donations would make a big difference. And it gives the email for Duncan's at the PayPal, and thank you for considering supporting. And again, the Duncan and others in Africa would have the funds themselves, but unfortunately, the entire continent has been looted for decades and perhaps even centuries. If you look at the capital flows, the poorer nations have been subsidizing the richer nations. So if we can all make a small donation or whatever you consider, I'm sure it will be greatly appreciated by Dr. Gatwa, Duncan, and all of us. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, my dear Mark. Welcome, Duncan.
Thank you, Mark. I actually posted that in a couple of the Telegram groups, and I've been in touch with Dankin, actually. The word correct keeps putting in Duncan, but his name is actually Dankin with D-A-N-C-A-N. And yeah, he just needs a bit of help. He's an enthusiastic new knowledge seeker, and he's made the travel. He's traveled quite a long ways to get to learn about the technology, and he comes from a very, perhaps one of the poorest areas in Africa, which has many poor areas, and he's doing his best to learn, but he needs to stay a few more days or a week or so in that area where he's at, so he's close to Dr. Gatwa and able to communicate, and working with one of recommendations of Dr. Gatwa and so on, and so he just needs a bit of support, and I thought it would be appropriate. I don't usually post that kind of thing for people for support, but in this case it seemed appropriate. He's definitely has the energy and enthusiasm, and when you think back to other people back in Africa, they've been very appreciative of the work of Dr. Gatwa, and Mark, you know well about that because you've been hosting the workshops with Dr. Gatwa and Kikwa language. So thanks for posting that, and yeah, folks can consider that. That would be terrific.
Thank you, my dear Rick. Welcome, Duncan, to this beautiful family, my dear. And all the wishes for you, all the giving for you, what you need, my dear one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. Somebody wants to say something?
No.
Okay, okay, okay. So we can, if there's no more sharing, then we can go to the next presentation, my dear Rick.
Okay, thank you, Sweta.
Then we are here to serve, not to be served. This is the duty of everything. That is us. The Universal Council, come join, be in this beauty in totality. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Suswagatam to the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all the beauty, to all the loving beings exist in this planet, in this cosmos. Welcome, universal soul. Welcome. Thank you. Jumping, get this joy of that pearl of wisdom. Thank you, my dear one. Salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, thank you, Sweta. I'm just putting that email address into our YouTube as well, so people have the opportunity there if they wish to contribute. Okay, thank you, everyone. I think that brings to a close today's workshop. So let me get up the background image, which again is supplied by Jedi Simon for our background image today. This has been the 353rd One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. We're thankful to the members of the Universal Council and the support members who put together today's presentation and presented it. And thank you, everyone, for attending today's workshop as well. It takes both the presenters and the people attending to make that magical combination. So thank you, everyone, for your attention here. Okay, I think we're ready to end the show. Let me announce first, we have the next public teaching workshop, which is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which I hold every week and on Wednesday starting at 7 a.m. Central European Time. And that's open to members of the public, whether you're a newcomer or an old-timer with the plasma technology. We take on questions and show people's examples of the plasma technology and sort of the practical side of what we see in the Knowledge Seekers Workshop and other places. Okay, thank you, everyone, and we'll go out now with our usual...
And then this practical side of dance and clap.
Our usual joyful way. And thank you, Sweta.
Joy, be enjoy, beautiful souls.
Thank you for your emotion, Sweta, and for always feeling that joy. And May you all have a joyful remainder of your day wherever you are. Okay, bye, and don't forget about the night. Our dream world is maybe even more important than our daytime. So you have joy in all your life. Bye for now. Well, once you know, I'm not getting any joy on my play button on that
Confirm.
video now. Let me try to find an alternate version that might be a little more responsive, let's say. Attempt number 2 here.